Hey guys, this is Admin Wilt from the RWBY Nation, and this is the RWBY Nation podcast, open week number 3, and today I am joined by admins Nora.
I have no clue what I'm supposed to say at this point in time.
Son. Coco.
I can't.
Oh boy.
Coco.
And Qrow.
Some call me Tips Flap Flap.
And as you guys can see, we're gonna probably have a little bit of fun with today's podcast.
What about Coco?
I already said Coco!
We said Coco, but everyone was laughing their ass off beforehand. Sorry, Will.
Okay, well, today we are talking about the latest World of Remnant, the Schnee Dust Company. And to start off, I want to get everyone's introduction thoughts on the episode and just where the series is at as a whole. Obviously, we got left on a cliffhanger from the last episode, so tensions are high, emotions are all over the place, and we found out some new information with this most recent episode, and I'm curious on everyone's thoughts, and I'm going to start with Qrow on this one.
Put me on the spot. Alright. Interesting to see a little background on the Schnee family, specifically Papa Schnee, who actually isn't a Schnee. He took the name of his wife, I believe, right? Is that correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But interesting to see a little bit of history about Dust. But it also kind of felt like how to be the biggest in the World of Remnant 101 as well.
Okay.
But interesting backstory, I guess.
Definitely. And Coco?
Yeah, Weiss's dad's a dick. That's all I got. Yeah, and it's interesting how like it started off as such a small thing, and everyone's like, "Nah, money," and then it happens.
Mm-hmm.
Crony capitalism.
Son?
Oh, right. One thing in particular that I kind of found extremely interesting was the fact that, number one, they talk about the transition between, like, the really hard-working guy who, he's there for you, he's willing to help you out, and they go to, Papa Schnee.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, how did we get from this really nice, really awesome dude to bag?
Mm-hmm. And Nora.
Well, I thought of it was, I think it's kind of, like, I'm hoping for the next episodes, like, we've seen Papa Schnee be sort of fake, but for the most part, like, in the episodes, we've seen him be a complete and utter, as Coco have stated, a dick.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
sorry. So, I kind of want to see, like, if further in the season, like, it's even more of him, like, sucking up to the public, like, being, like, a cunning little Slytherin that he is.
Okay.
Can I interject real quick?
Go ahead.
Because in the episode, they did state a couple things of, like, the Mr. Schnee, Papa Schnee, one of his biggest priorities is having a really good PR company, right? So that's one part right there to take a look at and think about. And another one, going back to Sun's point of, like, how do you go from, like, hardworking, like, actual Schnee, like, what was his name again? What did they say his name in the show? Like, the original founder of the Schnee Company.
Nicholas.
And then the next one, Nick. Like, a hardworking individual who actually cares about his company, to the next person in line being this greedy, like, crony capitalist kind of dude, which you kind of see in, like, real life with, companies in general. Once the first original founders go, the company seems to take a little bit more of a profitable route rather than a hard-working route, if you will.
Okay. And that definitely is a good sort of segue into the first points about the episode. When we open up, we are introduced to the startings of the Schnee Dust Company, with how at the time, the Kingdom of Mantle, in their transition period into the Kingdom of Atlas, needed a new form of dust, because apparently they were at a tough time, and like you said, Nicholas Schnee had set off with his father, and they were dust miners originally. And so they were very hardworking people. They go out, and Nicholas is working as hard as he can to learn as much as he can, and they specifically say to learn anything that he does not already know. And so this immediately paints Nicholas as the good side of the Schnee family as like the one who wanted to make everything better for not only himself but the people around him as well. And that's sort of leads into the best parts about the Schnee Company starting off and why it started off having such a reputable name. And we get to see that due to the actions of this one family member. And what's very interesting, and I'm curious if you all thought this way or not, but I guess the start of the Schnee Dust Company was a lot earlier than I would have imagined. It's only one generation ahead of Jacques. And so that's not something I had really given much thought about. I thought it would have been much older, like family generations down the line. Because you don't really just start up with that company and immediately have that kind of money, it feels like, at least. But, like, this was a little interesting to know that, like, it was one guy and his daughter, which is Weiss's mom, married into the family. Well, Jacques married her to get into the family, but it's only one generation old, it seems like, at this point.
And it's very successful of a international business, basically, or inter-kingdom business, whatever you want to call it, for only being one generation. Like, I mean, they started specifically because of Nick's connections that he made during the military academy. I think he was at, right?
Yes.
But like, to be that successful, like, you have to assume before the company, of course, that like all the other kingdoms had some kind of company or some kind of operation going on to extract dust from their lands, I'm assuming, too. So
Absolutely.
just wonder, like, so like why was the Schnee Dust Company so successful? Because from what it seems, at least, is that under the original founders, Nick's I don't want to say not ruling, but like him being in charge of the company, that it did become an inter-kingdom business. And all that Jacques did was just make it even more profitable and, hunt down the competition, but like,
I mean, pretty much.
Well, it wasn't really much hunt down, but he did whatever he could so that way he could basically have a monopoly on it. But, like...
I mean, to be completely honest, he does look like a monopoly man.
No, he does, and he fits the part perfectly. But, like, it's just interesting to see, like, I wonder how Nick overcame that competition to make the company so profitable under his reign, because we kind of already see that Jacques' ways about it are kind of greedy, cronyist, unethical, basically, if you want to put it that way. So, like, how did Nick overcome it besides his connections? Like, what did he do? I wonder. But we probably won't get into that too much with the show. But it's just interesting to think about, I guess.
Mm-hmm. And the character Nicholas himself is someone that I'm really curious to see what if we do ever get any more backstory about him personally, because he seems like he was a very, I guess, important character to the overall landscape of Atlas and the Schnee Dust Company, and like he seems like he was a very big deal. And like with him going through combat school and everything else, like he would have had to have been a skilled fighter as well to be able to survive as long as he did and be as, I guess, involved with his company as he was. Because like they said, the reason he gained so much reputation throughout his company is because he personally went to go oversee things, because he had the combat experience and all that. So knowing a little bit more about the character would be very interesting, and I really want to know more about his daughter, Weiss's mom, as well, because like you would think like having a father figure like that, like it would have to be some kind of big deal. And so I do want to learn more about the character, but odds are we may or may not get that, and if we do, it probably won't be for a while. But I am curious to know what you guys think like Nicholas's personality was like. Do you think he was more of a stern guy, or more of like the laid back grandpa type?
I mean, given what we know so far, at least in my mind, I would like to believe that he's probably more... Actually, I should say I'd like to. I honestly believe that he's more of a kind of like strict, very... I don't want to say like down-to-earth kind of guy, because that's the wrong terminology for it, but more just along the lines of I'm sorry. Short answer. I think he's very. I think he was more strict, more rule based, and like no firm discipline and stuff like that.
Okay.
And maybe that might be why Weiss's mom may have fallen in love with him.
Okay.
Wait a minute, were we talking about Nick or were we talking about Jacques?
Well, Nick.
Oh, I was talking about Jacques. My bad. My bad.
I mean, if we're going about Nick, I mean, the best way to probably put it would be the not stereotypical, but just someone who's very hardworking, to the point that he's literally put his whole life into the company that he's founded. I get the typical successful entrepreneur, the hardworking, likes to treat his employees decently, and doesn't try to like penny pinch as much as possible. He just wants to have a successful company and knows how to do it the right way.
Okay. Yeah, I could definitely
like
see
a
that.
Santa Claus kind of a thing.
Yeah, as soon as they said his name, I was just trying to make any kind of comparisons to Santa as I could, and I was just like, I mean, every character in RWBY is based off of something, and so it would only make sense that I could see that, and like they didn't really give a whole lot as to. I mean, I guess you could make references over to and cross-analyze things and somehow get the connection, but I'll let other people worry about that.
I think it's kind of interesting, particularly just like the outline and kind of like the shadow that they showed of it. God, like straight up, I was like, oh, that's Santa. Like literally just that's Santa. Like, oh, okay.
Santa Schnee.
Santa Schnee. There you go.
Okay. But going through a little bit more in the episode, I mean, the episode itself was only like 4.5 minutes long, and that was without intro and all that other stuff. But we got a small glimpse when they are talking about how Nicholas expanded his company and made it, I guess, usable in all of the other regions. We get to see some of, I guess, the main points that the Atlas Corporate or the Schnee Dust Company has affected. And there's a few spots on the map that like we don't really have too much, I guess, information about right now. And you would think like any place that the Schnee Dust Company interacts with has to be some kind of big deal, I guess. It wouldn't just be shipping out dust to just some random tiny little village out in the middle of nowhere. Odds are it'll be a larger city of some kind. And it showed 7 different places on the map. I'm gonna assume the 4 main ones that we see are the 4 kingdoms, because it looks like there's a place out in the west side that is Haven, and then there's Vale, Mistral, or no, Haven is in Mistral, Shade Academy out in Vacuo was the other one I was thinking of. And then there is an interesting one out on the far east of the map that's in that little dark red corner that I am still interested to see what in the world is over there, because I don't know what kind of landmass is red. So I'm very curious to see if they'll expand upon that. And there's also a few others in the continents of where Vale and Mistral are Vale and Mistral. And so I'm curious to see if we'll ever get more insight into that. But as we got to hear in the episode, as soon as Jacques basically married into the family, he pretty much took over everything. And it's very interesting to know like that maybe he started off being a better person. I mean, it's very obvious, and I think there's not a single person who will disagree that Jacques is a dick.
Yeah.
And so it's like even Qrow in the World of Remnant is sitting there like I don't like this guy.
I think he's bad. I think that Rooster Teeth should definitely hire him as an artist. That was a great A.
I would watch a show filled with Qrow's doodles any day.
This is the RWBY recap with Qrow.
You see that little red blob right there? Yep, that's Ruby. See that yellow blob? Yang. That black one? Like, the one that's supposed to be right there, but it's just a small black outline? That's Weiss, but I tried to draw it white, but you can't see on the background.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
I think, like, this episode in general gave us a little bit of insight as to Qrow's personality towards all of the Schnee Dust Company, which makes sense why he doesn't particularly probably care for Weiss and Winter that much, just because he just specifically doesn't hate their father, or he hates their father, which is why he doesn't so much care for them as much. But it was very funny to see Qrow's reaction towards this one.
I just love the dialogue. I really did.
Yeah.
Qrow is slowly coming up as my personal second favorite character.
He's always been probably top 3 for me.
Of course, number 1 being, do I really need to say? Son. It's of course Son.
Really? No
Which,
way.
by the way, random. Okay, you know what? Okay,
No.
I'm sorry to do this. Brief rant. Son's abs are still there, you assholes. They are still there. Even freaking Dove. Dove started. I had by the way, this is like I had an in-depth conversation with Dove about this. It was kind of hilarious. I was like, do I need to whip out the pictures? I literally spent like a solid hour and a half just dedicated specifically to finding the pictures of Son's abs at different angles in the menagerie episode.
I remember that.
You remember that post?
Mhm.
Yes. Son, Qrow's dialogue to me is absolutely freaking hilarious. By the way, Dove, I love you. Please don't hate me.
For sure. But I think now that pretty much sums it up for the World of Remnant this week. Next week, does anyone have any official word of what we're getting next week? Is it an episode or is it an off week?
We
No
had the
idea.
teaser. Which
They did
I
have the
think-
teaser, and
The teaser.
the-
Oh my god.
yeah, the teaser was insane. And if you haven't seen it and you don't care about spoilers, you guys should definitely go check that out.
I haven't seen it.
Neither have I.
Well, we're not going to be talking specifically about the teaser, but we're just going to say, like, if you don't want to be spoiled for the episode, you don't have to worry too much. It doesn't show too much as far as spoilers go, but it does have some very cool dialogue in it.
Where
but-
is it?
I think someone posted it on The Nation, as well as you can find it on, like, the RWBY page and the RWBY Twitter, the official ones. But that pretty much does it for the World of Remnant this week. So now I sort of want to just sit back and talk about where we are at in the season as a whole. And this is going to be probably a little bit where we go off the rails a little bit, but that's fine.
Dude, I've been doing that for, like, the past hour and a half. I mean,
I know.
no, we've only been recording for like 10 minutes.
Uh-huh.
Totally. We didn't have outtakes. What?
I didn't have to hit the record button 5 or 6 different times.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Uh-huh. Yeah, what you guys don't see is that this group talks with each other a lot, so a lot of stuff just tends to happen.
We do?
I mean, we're in Skype calls.
Since when?
It's almost like we know each other.
Oh,
Whoa,
no.
hold on. What?
Whoa, what?
Oh,
I
man.
don't know these
Oh.
people.
I'm sorry, am I taking this a little too fast?
Yes, I
You're
feel
moving way too
personally
fast. I need you to
offended.
slow down, bro.
Sorry. Fine. Let's start this off right, shall we? Ready? Hold
Mhm.
on. Can I get it?
Mhm.
There we go.
Oh, God.
Oh, my God.
I heard that.
I'll go make some pancakes.
Sweet bourbon.
Nectar.
Top shelf.
Top shelf! Top shelf, I ship it!
Oh my god. For those of you that don't know, we don't have an official name for the ship of the waitress
I
and
think it's
Qrow.
crowbar, actually.
Is it officially Crowbar or is
I
it
want
Top
to be
Shelf?
I like it top
I
I
shelf.
think it's officially Crowbar, but we all want it to be top shelf.
I think Top Shelf is more like a play on words, which I really like.
Also,
Top shelf.
do you really
Top
think
shelf?
she's still alive?
Yes.
Yeah.
I hope so.
I don't know if she is.
I think she is.
She's
Better
totally
be.
alive.
She was great. I mean, she lives on through we have a Minecraft server. She lives on through the Minecraft server.
Okay.
Yes, she does.
Qrow created a building in Minecraft called the Crowbar, and he has a villager in there named the waitress.
Yeah, I
Bullshit. It's not a villager. It's a llama.
It's a llama.
With the llama?
Yeah, the
I
llama.
thought it was a villager.
No, it's a llama.
All right,
You
congrats.
think a villager would want to spend time with Qrow?
Ow. But apparently a llama would.
Yeah.
Not just spits at him. Or is that an alpaca?
I think
Okay.
they both do that.
That's what was it? An ibex.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's another type of.
Well, probably bites him then.
The ibex, the ibex is a very interesting animal because it just like it
just
goes off of
exists.
like vocal cues,
It just
and so if you start
exists.
if you start talking to it, it will get more and more aggressive until eventually it'll just end up just completely spitting at you. So he just spits at you. So you can there's a video which, by the way, I would totally recommend you look up. It's called "Never Argue with an Ibex." And it's this guy who's having a conversation with an ibex, and he's just like, "Well, I just don't understand your point." Ah! Ah! And the ibex is like screaming at him.
Okay then.
I think it's a very interesting thing, and he's like, "I just don't see your point here. I think it." Ah!
So it's any argument we have with you?
Yes.
I wish
I don't get-
I wish I could spit at you through Skype. I really do, but I can't.
Wow.
Kinky.
Anyway, you were saying?
Oh gosh.
Oh my god!
Hey, son.
Yeah.
Do you bite your thumb at me, sir?
Oh my god, we're not getting into that one. Dost thou even hoist, brethren?
Dost thou want to go?
Dost thou want to go? Anyway,
Dost thou want to square the up?
anyway, moving on.
Well,
That
Move-
was my fault. You're talking about ibexes. My bad.
moving on. We, like I said near the beginning of the podcast, we were left on a bit of a cliffhanger from the last episode,
What are you talking
and yeah, it wasn't a cliffhanger at all.
about? What was it?
What am I? I'm losing my mind. I'm sorry. I don't even know what's going on. But I am curious what, because we didn't seem to really get into too much detail about it in the last podcast. But I'm really curious to know what you guys think is going to happen in the next episode.
I think there's gonna be a fight.
Going to happen.
Fight all the way.
Okay, so based
Which,
on
I mean,
the
it's kind of a
last
given, but
yeah, based
Daddy
on the last
Qrow.
episode, the thing that's extremely interesting is the fact that literally just Qrow versus Tyrion,
Mm-hmm.
the fight to the death. I hope.
let's just hope that fan art doesn't come true.
Wait,
Oh
what?
my god, no.
Oh god.
Oh,
that freaking fan art.
Dishwasher?
The fan art of Qrow
Is it
getting like
dishwasher?
I know exactly what you're talking about, and I'll see
It's
if I
where-
can.
it's where- Qrow is
Yeah, it
like-
was dishwasher, son.
Yeah,
Oh
Yeah,
my god!
that's-
Why would Dishwasher do that?
Because Dishwasher was also the one who made that image of Ruby getting torn apart.
Oh, that's.
It was
good point.
great. It was very,
Oh,
very.
what
Dishwasher's
are you talking
mean.
about?
Grade A stuff, man.
It's basically the image. For those of you that haven't seen it, the image depicts Qrow sitting there, like just facing towards Ruby, smiling, and Tyrion's scorpion tail going through his chest. Yeah.
That sounds like an average Wednesday. I don't see what the issue is.
What the hell?
Do you guys spend your Wednesdays doing something else?
I mean, I see the Dishwasher art of him versus Tyrion, but not the one that I know that you were talking about. Are you sure that was Dishwasher?
Yeah, do you want me to send it to you? Because I have it.
And post it right now.
Oh wait, I found it.
And that send it to me anyway. I can see it. I wanna know.
The viewers
please.
must see this horrifying image.
I wanna
Yeah,
know.
this is the
Show
image we were
me.
talking about by Dishwasher, and it's so heartbreaking. Oh my god, it is
It was
good, too.
beyond
Who
rough.
I
Who
don't
wants
think
to
they
show
tell
it to me?
Qrow
No
this
one?
early.
Okay.
Like, Qrow would need.
I'll show it to
I
you,
feel like-
Coco, in a second.
Thanks.
Qrow is like, I know I've seen
The
a couple
real
different
MVP.
renditions of of like people thinking Qrow is gonna die and things like that. But Qrow is way too important of a character right now for that to happen, because he has to meet back up with Ozpin.
Yeah.
Like, they're not just gonna kill him off and then like the whole thing of like, well, what was his plan even? Like, we know nothing of right now, and so they're not gonna kill him off this soon.
They could severely wound him, and then he gives the cane to RWBY, and then that's RWBY's new quest.
Yeah, but I feel like he'd have to have a big conversation of like what in the world is going on and everything else.
That's why I say severely injured. It's something that like won't necessarily kill him off at all or right off the bat, but it gives him enough time to explain the situation.
Okay.
But it still takes him out, if you will. It makes people go, "Oh my god, my favorite man!"
Oh my god, my favorite man.
My favorite man.
That voice, though.
Vic Manur.
Vic Phenomena.
Manur.
Vic Mignogna. Vic Nogna.
Vic, if you're watching this, I love you.
Vic, if you're watching, we love you.
Oh, speak for yourself.
You
Don't
love
say
Vic?
we.
I mean, I had a
Miss, if
conversation.
anybody had Qrow's voice,
Yeah,
I was
I've
very
talked to him before. He's
Yeah,
great.
Vic's awesome.
Vic's great.
Yeah.
Plus the fact that the one thing in particular that I enjoyed about Vic, I think it was like Otakon. There was an Otakon that I went to that he did a wedding, and it was awesome. Like, he didn't actually do the wedding, like, so to speak, but he set it up. It was kick-ass. Excuse me, kick-ass. It's great.
I love when he signed your gun checks and was like, "Should I know what this is?"
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh. Okay, story time. So I went up to Vic
Story time with RWBY Nation.
at a signing, and what ended up happening was that I came up to him in my son cosplay. He's like, "Oh yeah, like this is great," and I was like, "Oh yeah, can you sign my gun chucks?" And he's like, "Yeah, sure, this is awesome." And then he just looks at me, and I'm just like, I'm waiting there. I'm like, "Oh yeah, he'll recognize me. He'll recognize me." And then he's just like, "What? Who are you again?" He's like, I was like, I'm son. He's like, "Oh yeah, your son, right." I'm like, Vic didn't recognize me. Vic. That was sad.
Fair enough.
Although the upside to that con was I took a picture with a small child who asked me to hold up my arm like a monkey bar, and she just held onto it, and she's like, it's like, "You're so cool, son." And I'm like, "Yes, yes, little child, yes."
If the mother of that kid has that picture, we want to see it.
Yeah, if you are that mother and you have that picture, please send it to the RWBY Nation.
Because we didn't get a picture.
I was too busy holding my arm out. I can't really. I mean, I could take a selfie with it, I guess. Like, twist it back and be like, "Yeah, I have a little girl on my arm. Yeah."
That's not creepy at all.
Nope.
Hey now.
What?
Hey now.
Hang out.
You're a rock star.
Please don't.
Oh, you're an all-star.
Anyway,
Suck it.
official business. Anything else to cover, Wilt?
Well, I mean, I did want to see if anyone else had any other theories about the next episode other than Qrow dying.
He'd be like, "RWBY, I am your father."
We do have...
Oh my god.
Oh dear God!
She wants to start a war.
We could talk about the potential punishment that probably will happen to Weiss after she almost killed somebody with her boy.
Oh God, yeah, that's a good thing to talk about.
Oh, and Jimmy.
She's probably.
Talk about the royal test.
She is probably going to get what's the proper word? Excommunicated, I guess.
Yeah, I could see that.
I think honestly.
Well, it's like I talked about it.
I'm in a Borbatas to randomly shank a chick and get away with it. Sure.
Well, I mean, Ironwood was there, and he pretty much was just like, "Yeah, she's good."
I was.
Oh my
Right.
god.
Well,
Nora,
to
it's got
me,
that
it
picture.
looked like she couldn't even control it, though. Like, it
No,
just,
she
was like,
had
boom.
no control over it. It was just her emotions going wild.
But who can blame her? Like,
Yeah.
she just got
I-
separated from
You
Gene.
watch You watch an extremely traumatic event like, oh, I don't know, beacon falling. And then she's like, yeah, I mean, I don't even understand why. And it's like, really?
Beat you myself.
I will come through this television and beat your... Or taking the computer monitor. You know what I meant. I'm angry.
Both. I will go through both.
I will go through both. Actually, isn't RWBY on Netflix?
I will
Think
go
so.
through Netflix.
No, I know Volume 3. Actually, no, Volume 3 is out.
Yeah, Volume 3's on there. Volume 4's not, I don't think.
No.
I would be thoroughly surprised if it was.
It won't go on there until Volume 4 ends and Volume 5 starts. That's how it normally works.
I know, I'm pretty sure Rooster Teeth has like some sort of very close deal with Netflix.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like if it was a close deal, it'd come out sooner than that, but...
That is true. That is true. You make a fair point. I guess I'm wrong. Way to go, Wilt! You made me feel like a bag.
Bag.
Bag it.
Bag. Just a giant heaping bag. I mean,
Adult things and RWBY.
yeah, serious business.
And Snowbird, yeah.
What?
What?
That's a funny way to say
Only me?
Only you.
That's a funny way to say top shelf.
Yeah, true. Let's be honest.
Alright, but, this... I really want to see if any of you guys have any, I guess, closing thoughts on what we've talked about so far, and if there's anything that you would like to see coming up here in the next few episodes, other than just, like, what you think might happen. Is there anything that you'd like to see happen?
I would like to see another episode.
Well, wouldn't we all?
Really?
Please, tell me more.
Okay, so, like,
What are
really,
these
like, when,
episodes you
like,
say?
my favorite part about episodes is, like, I log on to their website,
And plot.
and then it asks me, it's like, what show do you want to watch? And I'm like,
All
watch
of them.
RWBY.
Rooster
it's
Teeth,
like-
if you're watching this, please, for the love of God, don't hate us.
And then, like, I'm like,
Watch.
I want to
This
watch
is the one
RWBY.
podcast they're gonna be like, oh yeah, this is a pretty interesting page, and they look over and then they hear Nora talking.
Oh,
I'm
God.
not even talking. What?
They're talking, Nora. They have to explain backstory. That's why we have the World of Remnants.
Okay, well, it's still an episode and I still enjoy it. I'm just saying my favorite part is then when episodes come out and I'm like, yo, I get to watch another episode. It's gonna be great. I expect there to be some cool animation, some sounds, some colors.
Some Snowbird and Top Shelf.
You can't have both.
You can't have both.
Yes, you can. It's called harems.
I mean, okay.
I just want Neo to come back. I want Neo back.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, there's a good thing to bring up for what you want.
Want Neo back.
I just want a bowl of ice cream now.
Ooh, I have ice cream.
Stop tempting me, woman!
I'm sorry.
I made a pie last night. A caramel macchiato pie.
Okay, then. Does anyone else have anything that they would really like to see in the next few episodes? Or I'm gonna say specifically before the volume ends.
More of Nora and Ren's backstory.
Okay,
That's fair. Yeah.
very fair.
When I was a young girl.
No!
My family probably abandoned me and expected me to be eaten by Graham.
Good
Wow.
God.
But hey, I survived.
I could be wrong. That's how the song goes.
I have an inchy I don't even know the right word to use.
Seeking suspicion.
There you go.
Yay! I can English!
I apparently cannot.
He fail English. That's impossible.
Exactly. Alright, well, this has been really fun, guys, so I think that's going to do it for this week. And guys, this has been Admin Wilt with the RWBY Nation podcast with admins Nora.
Oh, wait, am I supposed to say goodbye?
Pretty much.
Oh, bye.
And Son.
Make sure you follow the YouTube and the Twitch. We Twitch stream a lot, and we're absolutely out.
Twitch stream.
There are other means of streaming. We just use Twitch, you little word that I'm gonna not say because I don't want to have too many Nevermores in this one.
Too
Yeah,
late
that's
for
what I
that.
Alright, fine, you little.
Oh, square the hell up.
Anyway.
And Coco.
I don't know any of these people, so
Uh-huh.
just
After this, I'm just gonna disappear into a corner and not show my face again.
Exactly.
And Qrow.
Squaddle waddle waddle waddle.
What the hell?
Looks like it's time to go. Squaddle.
And Wilt.
And Wilt.
He said Wilt already.
And
Screw
Will.
it.
Yeah, we get to
And
say
Gus.
I'll pull a Gus. And Gus. Don't forget Gus.
My name, what was it? My name is good. I don't even freaking know. I end the episode.
My name is Compliment that I killed my father prepared for
So
that.
did I.
We'll see you guys next week.